everyone. Thanks for being here. Today I'm going to talk to you about a really exciting subject, and that is the power of no. What I'd like y'all to do today, just because we've been sitting for a while, is stand up. We're going to do a little bit of role playing. And what I want you to do is put your hands out like a book, and I want you to look at that book for a minute and understand that that's going to represent the story of your life. And that's the story that you've written in your head, and it's the story that you're trying to enact right now, today, and in the future. The second thing I want you to do is go like this. Can you feel the energy there? There's an energy field that belongs to each one of us. That energy field is everything that you have to enact that book of life. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to have enough energy and the positive energy to really live your story and live your dreams. So you can all sit down right now. It's really amazing because I can talk to you from a long perspective. You know, I've been a business owner for 22 years, and I'm living in the 5th decade of my life. And the more I live and dream about what I want to accomplish, the more I've been able to look back at the things that didn't work out so well. You know, I was having breakfast this morning with some of you gracious women, and we were talking this morning about our big dreams. But then on the flip side, sometimes in the morning, we barely have enough energy to get out of bed. And so it's a constant struggle every day between the positive energy to go out and accomplish our dreams and those events where we get a no in our life that create negative energy where we can barely get out of bed. And it's the ability and the courage and the desire to move past the negative energy in our lives and to create positive energy that's not only going to help us to live out our dreams, but live out the bigger dream that we all have for sustainability in this world. Boy, don't we hate this one. When your lover says no. You know, for women especially, we have tender hearts, and it's especially crushing. And it could be, you know, it could be the boyfriend, the husband, the girlfriend. Could even be the boss that says we're no longer needed at work. You know, there's never been a time that's been more crushing in my life. You know, I was married at 25, I had 2 children, and was divorced at 30. You know, I didn't know what to do or where to go. You know, I left with a 4x8 trailer, my 2 kids in the back seat crying, and $200, and said, where am I going to go and what am I going to do? I moved to a place I only knew one person, my best friend. A few years later, I finished my college degree. Later in life, started a company, started working, was hired as a CEO, and then a few years later, the company failed. And it was a very crushing time for me. I was like, you know, not only can, you know, a divorce take your dreams away, but losing that job and that business opportunity can also take your dreams away. And I had to figure out one day how to move on from that. And I did move on from that. I said, I'm going to go back into consulting, and I'm going to make sure that this never happens to anybody again. And so what I learned from that is be adventurous. You know, sometimes moving to a new place can really create a positive energy. Sometimes getting up and maybe going on a walk, maybe starting a new company, maybe starting a new career, maybe making a new best friend. But looking for adventure in your lives automatically brings up a positive energy that can really overcome that negative energy that's weighing you down. And it takes you to places you've never been and adventures that you'll never think that you're going to go. Monday, I'm leaving for a 2-week trip to Europe for a brand new adventure, and I'm super excited about that. It's going to change my life. That's my goal. When you go on the adventure, make sure that you have a goal to say, this is not only an adventure I'm going to enjoy, but it's going to change my life. And I can look back and I can see where every no, if I'd stayed in that place where I wanted to be, and I try to enact the book that I'd written for myself, that I wouldn't have the life that I have. I have an amazing, adventurous life. And that's what I want for all of you. When the world says no, what is that all about? You know, today's economy is different than 2 years ago. You know, low oil prices, low natural gas prices, problems with the oil and gas industry, challenges with political issues, economic circumstances. They have all affected all of us in the sustainability industry. You know, I think that one of the interesting things that has happened to me was the first company I started was with my husband. We started a construction company basically because we couldn't find a job, you know. I mean, we did painting and roofing and all kinds of stuff. We were in West Texas, and then the oil bust came in the mid 80s. We had two little children. I had a 6-week-old baby. We were working for all the people in the oil industry, so we packed up our stuff and moved to Phoenix. Within a year, we had 3 companies. I started a company right out of college. You know, sometimes when the world says no, that's the time to really be creative. You know, even today, in my company, I'm making some different changes. And I'm starting up something that's been a dream project of mine. You know, sometimes in our hearts, there's something that we want to do. We go, oh, one day I'm going to do this if I have this and this and this. And sometimes you just have to go do it. Sometimes it's just a matter of doing it. So one of the things I'm working on right now, that's why I'm going to Europe, is I want to wear clothing that's sustainable, but I can't always find what I want to wear. And so I'm going to start that up. I'm starting that company myself. And I'm going to Milan to the World Textile. It's called ITMA, and they're having a huge conference on sustainability, and it's important for me to understand what that industry thinks is sustainable and bring what I know about sustainability to the industry and make that into a new business for all of us. Wow, this is a hard one. When your body says no. You know, I had a goal. You know, I raised 2 children by myself, you know, and that was really fun. But I thought, boy, when my kids grow up, I'm going to go out, and that's going to be my time to conquer the world. That's my time. I'm going to run away from all those responsibilities and go have a fun life. And 5 years ago, my son was diagnosed with a severe mental illness when he was only 23 years old. It's a really interesting experience when your body says no. And what I want to bring out in this point is when I saw my son who couldn't control his mind. Do you know that 1 in 14 people have a severe mental illness, and 1 in 4 people have some type of mental illness that affects them in their lives? Over 25% of homeless people are mentally ill, and over 30% of inmates are also mentally ill. Oftentimes, I want to look around and go help the people in Syria, but sometimes I don't even have the energy, you know, to help the person next door. And that gave me the understanding that I had to really reevaluate how I loved my son and what real love means. I thought I was great at loving people, but I didn't really understand unconditional love. And the second thing, from being involved in this and watching my son have the courage and have to really work hard to try to regain his life over a 5-year period, was that kindness is one of the most important things, the gifts that we can give. And that if we can be kind to others, you know, I am in the presence of this room full of incredibly smart, talented women. And it's very important to understand that we have that power within us to create And along the way that we're going to touch our world and the way that we're going to spread that positive energy throughout the world and really change the world is through kindness to each individual that we meet. I put this thumbprint up there because I want you to remember that you have your unique story to tell, that each person has that unique story that's different than anyone else. But to develop the positive energy to accomplish that, I'm just encouraging you to have the courage to be adventurous, to be creative, and to be kind. Thank you.